Okay, so my story starts the night that my life was saved by a divine being. This happened on December 24th of 2000. I was in a near fatal auto accident. It was me and my younger sister. We were on our way up to visit our parents, and I fell asleep at the wheel. I was going about 80 miles an hour. We ended up landing in a drainage ravine with 15-foot cement walls on either side. Nobody saw us go off the road, so I didn't. When I came conscious, I realized both of us were in critical condition. My sister wasn't responding. I only had a little bit of time to respond, so I crawled out of the car, and I realized quickly that I didn't know which way to go. I didn't know how to get out. And so I started praying. And the second I started praying, I heard a voice come out of the sky. The voice came from about 100 yards to my left, and it said, "Come this way." It was a male sounding voice, and it was coming from the sky. So I was startled because I knew it wasn't human, but I also knew that I only had a limited time. So I started crawling towards the voice. When I got to where the voice was coming from, there was nobody there. So I looked around and I noticed there was a big pile of cement bags that made it so that I could climb up and onto the frontage road that was running alongside the freeway that I had gone off of. Me and my sister were both I was able to flag somebody down for help. Me and my sister were both rushed to emergency. She shattered her hip, and I shattered my duodenum, which is like your part of your bowel. Both of us are fully recovered now. But during that time in the emergency room, we were in intensive care for 2 weeks. During that time, I had my first spiritual awakening, and this is when my spiritual gifts came online. I started hearing clairaudiently, and I got a series of messages. One was that I was supposed to start playing music, and another one was just sort of helping me like go from like my Catholic upbringing to more of a spiritually universal upbringing. So after that, I was activated towards service. I pretty much had no other passion. It was like this soul awakening where my biggest passion was service, and that's all I wanted to do. I was shown that that was through music. So I started teaching myself how to play music. And I did that for the next 20 years after. I became a professional musician, and that's how I sort of did my service work. At one point, I was catalyzed by the twin flame catalyst experiment, I guess you could call it. That was for 11 years, and during that was sort of like a second awakening. I was really led to start doing the inner work, and I did that for about 11 years. That was a very healing part of my life, but also very torturous in a lot of ways. I graduated from that, but I came out being able to let go in a way I never thought that I could. And that ability to let go helped me continues to help me through so many things. During that twin flame experiment part, I became clean and sober. So I've been clean and sober for 8 years now. And I have just continued to grow towards my journey. I am being guided now to return to music. I'm being guided now to do the Magic Penny experiment. I'm being guided now to build New Earth business models. And that's sort of my journey. My gifts came on, my clairaudience started waning after a certain amount of time because the gifts got so strong. I got scared and closed them off. But then after I started doing tarot probably 2012, 2013, I was sort of part of the Twin Flame, tarot reader community on YouTube. And I did tarot on YouTube for a little while, and I got certified as a coach. I got certified as a healer, and got many certifications, throughout the years in those areas. And then at one point, my gifts, the visions started coming online. Now, I think happened about 7-8 years ago now. They just kind of came online out of the blue. I think the biggest reason why was because I become clean and sober. I think that's why, but I'm not sure. And I had also been using my gifts in service, and I think that was a big part of that too. But that's sort of like the quickest recap of my story that I can sort of put together real quick. But now here I am, and my passion for service never went away. It was one of those things when I was in the hospital. I had a huge awakening, a soul activation towards mission, and it made it to where my drive for mission was number one in my life. And that waned a little bit during the Twin Flame Catalyst thing because my activation turned towards him almost. But after leaving that situation and healing from that, the activation returned and went back to mission. And so here I am doing the Magic Penny experiment. It is day 33, and I send you guys lots of love, and I will talk to you soon.